Hi there, I'm Elise from the blog LePetiteSaintCrochet.com, and today I want to share with you how I got monetized on YouTube as a crafting channel. If you've been here before, you know that I am a knitting and crocheting and toy making enthusiast, but what you may not know about me is that I am just as passionate about running my handmade business, and today I'm really excited to share this milestone with you and share how you can do it too if it's something that you're interested in. If it's something that you are interested in. There's a bug. Okay. Okay. Online learning has exploded in the last decade. I know that I am a big fan of learning things online. I don't want to use the word learn again. People have a great desire to continue learning new things and new skills, all while being able to stay in the comforts and safety of their own homes. And that is why I think now is such a wonderful time for anybody who has any sort of interest or expertise to start a crafting YouTube channel. My mouth doesn't work. Monetization is a fancy way of saying having ads on your video. So every time someone sees an ad on YouTube, that channel's creator receives a portion of that revenue. You may have noticed that I have ads on my channel now, and I'm actually going to show you at the end of the video what my ad revenue up until this point is. Now, don't expect a whole lot. I recently got monetized within the last couple of weeks, but I want to show you what kind of income you can expect, especially in the very beginning, and if you end up having a channel around the size that mine is. My voice broke like a teenage boy. If you end up having a channel around the size that mine is currently. So there are 2 milestones that you have to reach to actually become monetized on YouTube. The first one is you need to have 1,000 subscribers, and you also need 4,000 watch hours. I personally reached that 1,000 subscribers way before I reached my 4,000 watch hours. So that was something that I have been working really hard at in the last few months. So in this video, I'm going to share actually how I did it. There are a million different ways that someone could reach those milestones, but I want to share as a crocheting and knitting channel how I did it, and maybe you will find some of these helpful, or it will give you some ideas, and we're going to jump right into it, and I hope that you really get a lot out of this video today. I'm going to be sharing a lot of resources with you guys, so don't worry that you're going to have to be scribbling and writing it all down. I'm going to leave links for every single thing that I talk about in the description box below. Some YouTube channels explode right out of the gate, but that certainly did not happen with mine. It actually took me 560 days from the time I uploaded my first YouTube video to becoming monetized back at the end of April. I uploaded my first video on October 17th of 2018. It was part of a series of videos that I uploaded as a tutorial for a crocheted teddy bear that I designed, and they're horrible. They are the absolute worst videos probably on YouTube, and I beg you not to go back and look at them. They really are bad, but here's what's okay about that is that, you know what, when you first start something, you really don't know what you are doing. But I started to become a little bit more serious about my YouTube channel in January of 2019, and I started to upload a video every week. At that point, I enrolled in a course from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. She is a very successful blogger and YouTuber. She encouraged people that, hey, if you're writing a blog post about something, it's just as easy to create a video for it. And she saw that YouTube was a really great opportunity for those of us who are bloggers to get our content out there. So I started doing that, and my growth was pretty slow, and sometimes I was frustrated, but for the most part, I was just excited that I was getting it done, and I was learning so very much. But then Lisa came out with her course, Video for Bloggers, and I bought the course that very day because I knew her blogging course was so incredible, and I had seen how she had grown her YouTube channel to such great success that I enrolled in the course right away. And from that point forward, I'm going to show you my analytics, and you can actually see how my views started to go up, because I learned from that course that it's better to not work harder, but to work smarter. And when you know certain things, that you know the best practices, and you're following somebody who is way smarter about something than you are, you will start to see success. So that's how I I went about doing it. Lisa has grown her channel to almost 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. She makes a full-time living as a blogger and a YouTuber, and I have learned so very much from her. One of the best things that I did for myself was to adopt new mindsets regarding YouTube. The first one was to become more patient. I'm not naturally a patient person. I like things to happen very quickly, but I learned early on that if I had patience with myself and with YouTube in general, that I would learn a lot more, that I would probably grow, and I wouldn't be as frustrated. Sometimes we can look at channels who have thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of subscribers and think, I want that now, but we don't see the work and the time that went into it on the back end. That's what I tried to focus on, was that I'm putting in my time, I'm learning a great deal, and just to be patient with myself. The second attitude that I changed was commitment. I learned early on that YouTube rewards consistency, and I knew that for me to be consistent, I needed to commit. Best practices on YouTube are to upload 2 videos a week, but I knew that for my life, being a mom and a wife, that I could not commit to twice a week. So I made the decision that I would upload once a week. Now, I only missed that commitment a couple of times. I uploaded through surgeries, through adopting a brand new tiny little kitten, through traveling and vacations. I videoed it all. I took you all to my daughter's graduation from her master's degree program out in Oklahoma. I took you all to Edisto Island and I knitted my first teddy bear there. I took you all along when we had our brand new little kitten, Olive. So I made it just a part of my life, and if I was having difficulties, like when I had to have surgery back in August, I just videoed through it. My face was all swollen and I was in pain, but I wanted to share those experiences. So for me, making a commitment to upload every week, come heck or high water, I was going to do it, and that has really worked well for me. I think having that commitment, that no matter what attitude, is going to serve you very well on YouTube, and you grow as a creator, you grow as a person, and you learn new things. And as I make this commitment, I am also committing to learning and trying to get better all at the same time. So commitment is probably one of the best attitudes that you can have besides being patient, and I'm going to share the next one that I think is equally as important. The third mindset is probably the hardest for me, and that was one of investing in myself. As a mom, I always look at investing in my children and making sure that they are getting everything they need, from their education to their physical and mental and spiritual health. And I think that for a long time, I had the attitude that investing in myself was selfish, or maybe it was even a waste of time. But as I continued to grow and have these dreams of running my own handmade business, I realized that I needed to invest in myself. So I am so glad that I enrolled in the video course from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. I happen to think it's one of the best out there, especially for the money. There are other ones out there, so invest in yourself. If you want to do this, find people who are doing what you want to do and learn from them. So that's one of my biggest pieces of advice, and not to feel selfish about investing in yourself and going after your own dreams. The other thing that is so important is finding support. Through the Video for Bloggers course from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone, we have a private Facebook group. I have met so many amazing other YouTube creators. They're mostly moms. I'm going to leave links for their channels in the description box below. We have women who have grown their channels to tens of thousands, and then we have people who are brand new, and everybody in between. We're all learning together. We share ideas, we push each other, we encourage one another. We're always there to answer one another's questions and to just give each other a pat on the back and sometimes a kick in the pants when we need it. All right, now let's get to the part where we're talking about equipment. I know a lot of people wonder, what do you need to be able to start a YouTube channel? And I started with just my iPhone. I think that's a great place to start if that's the only thing you have. Don't think that because you only have an iPhone that you can't make a YouTube channel, because you can, because iPhones or Samsung or whatever kind of phone you have, a lot of them have actually pretty great cameras and mics on them already. But one of the things that I did pretty early on was I got a little lavalier mic that plugged right into my phone, and I was able to clip it right onto my shirt or my dress or my collar, and that really helped to improve the audio quality of my videos. videos. I actually learned that there are studies out there that show that people will click off of a video if the audio quality is really bad. So that would be one of the best things that you can invest in. They're very inexpensive. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for one that is very similar to what I had. That helped my audio quality to get so much better. The next thing that I invested in was a little tripod that actually held my iPhone, and that helped me so much. So instead of having to put my phone up on my shelf and make sure it didn't fall over, I had a little tripod that actually was for an iPhone, and that really helped me as well. The next thing I invested in was lighting. Lighting was also a really great thing because I don't have a tremendous amount of natural light in my house. I also wanted to be able to video at different times of the day. We also turned my basement laundry. Just a sec. No ma'am. We also turned my basement laundry room, I can't say laundry room, my basement laundry room into my craft room, and there is no natural light down here. So I have 2 sets of lights, and 2 are small and 2 are the big box lights, and that really helps in a room that has absolutely zilch zero natural light. The next thing I invested in was a camera. I made a big mistake with this because I bought a Canon EOS Rebel. It's a great camera for taking pictures. My husband and I could never figure out how to hook up the audio to that camera, and it was just a waste of money. Actually, I do use it occasionally to take pictures with anymore, but for the most part I don't use it at all, so I may be selling it soon. When you go to look for a camera, make sure you're really doing your research first. The guy at Best Buy had no idea what he was talking about. Let me see what I do. Okay, the next thing I did was to buy an actual great camera for video. This is a Canon 80D. It is the video creator kit. It came with everything I needed. It came with a Rode mic that hooks right into the camera, so I don't have to worry about audio at all. I don't have to trip over the lavalier wire, and it is a beautiful camera. It has facial tracking. It's got lots and lots of bells and whistles. I also use it now to take photos with, and I love this camera. I love it. I love it. It's my baby. This camera is my baby. Finally, the thing that I really think you're going to need, and I know that I need this for sure, is I needed an external hard drive. Those are really inexpensive. These large video files take up a lot of room on your computer, and I just have a very small little MacBook Air, and it has no storage whatsoever. So I use my little external hard drive to keep all of my video files so that they're all there and I'm not worried about losing them. But I invested in these things over time as I began to feel more comfortable with YouTube, as I began to grow on YouTube, and I began to see more potential with this channel. If all you have is an iPhone, you can make this work. I know of some very successful channels that they only have an iPhone, and that is great. But as you grow and as you get a little more interested, you might find that there are a few things that you could invest in, and I'm going to leave links for all of those in the description box below. So as promised, let's go ahead and take a look at my analytics. So let's go ahead and go into my YouTube studio here, which is where all of my analytics, all of my information is stored. And we are going to go into my analytics section, and I'm going to look, instead of the last 28 days, I'm going to go back and look at lifetime stats. Particularly what I want to show you is, so here's around the October 17th mark when I put those horrible awful videos on here, and you can see that the channel was pretty flat, not a whole lot going on. So January of 2019 is when I started uploading weekly. Now it's not a whole lot going on here. It's not gaining a lot of traction. You can start seeing that things are gaining a little momentum here, but it's still pretty slow. And in October is when I enrolled in the Video for Bloggers course, and you can see that my channel started growing. So I really credit finding out more information. Here's October, this is when I enrolled, and my growth really started to take off. I started getting a lot more watch hours from that. So now I'm in my analytics section for revenue, and as you can see, I became monetized somewhere around Friday, April 24th here. I've made a total of $22.78, but here is what's exciting to me. Not the money, not the dollar amount, because that's not much at all, but the fact that I've become monetized is really exciting to me. It makes me really happy to know that I can make money doing this, and this is not something that I was sure would ever happen for me. me, some money is always better than no money. I hope you enjoyed this video today, all about how to become monetized on YouTube as a crafting channel. If you like this video, if you would give it a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And if you would subscribe to my channel, that would be amazing. As always, if you have questions or comments, please leave them below. I love hearing from you guys. Any questions you have, I am happy to answer. I love creating videos about amigurumi and knitting and crochet, and I'm also hoping that you like these videos about running a handmade business. I would really like to explore these topics further. If you've got any topic ideas for me, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always looking for suggestions, actually. As always, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I'm going to leave a couple other videos for you in case you would like to continue watching, and I will see you all very soon.